So today I thought it would be fun on Weird Wednesday if we looked at some weird things that they teach you in school that are just total lies.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't do it, promise? Okay, everybody take some rubbers.
Now, hear me out. I'm definitely not anti-establishment or anti-school or anything like that. But there are definitely some things that they inherently teach us in school that just plain out aren't true. So let's take a look at some of the weirder ones now. The first thing that they teach you in school is to sit still and be quiet. In actuality, this is not the best way to learn, and there is tons of information to back this up. One study by John Ratty, an associate professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. He went to Harvard, so you know he's important. I don't know why I said that with an English accent. Movement actually activates the brain cells that kids need to learn. By sitting still and being quiet, it can actually put you in a dissociative state whereby you just essentially become a potato.
Where's my nose?
Here it is.
Is your arm? Honey, the mustache?
You're just staring blankly into space thinking about nothing, which is actually a good way to meditate, but not good for learning. The next thing that they tell you is not to chew gum, not to listen to music, and not to fiddle. In actual fact, all of these things can increase cognitive brain functioning, particularly working memory, episodic memory, and the speed to function, but actually only if you do them in a very particular type of way. You should chew gum while you're learning, but not during a test, because this can actually distract you, but chewing gum while you're learning stimulates the brain cells which help it to function. You can definitely listen to music, but it has to be a very particular type of music, rhythmically good, and anything with lyrics, not so much. The idea is to stimulate brain functioning, not overexcite it, so maybe if you're listening to something like gangster rap or something like that, leave it off the table while you're studying. It just takes too much of your focus, yo! The next thing that is instilled in us when we're in school is the importance of exams. Basically, you're taught if you fail your exams, you're pretty much screwed. They don't use those words, but you get the idea. Here's an interesting one about Irish school students. Even when well prepared for an exam, Irish students tend to be more anxious than their counterparts in the Western world. Nearly 2/3 of Irish students expressed this anxiety, whereas 55% of the rest of the world did so too. When you're in school, you definitely feel like if you don't do well in your exams, you won't be able to grow up and be a brain surgeon.
Benson bomb scissors.
That's a bomb scissors.
Get that cat out of here. Yes, sir.
Or a YouTuber. But here's the thing, there's actually usually a back door into nearly everything in the world outside of exams. And even if you don't do well in them in school, you can go back and do them when you're older. If you suddenly turn around at 40 and decide you want to be a brain surgeon, that's okay. You can still do it then. It'll be a lot harder, but it's possible. I mean, just look at Kim Kardashian. She's now going to become a lawyer.
And would you stop taking pictures of yourself? Your sister's going to jail.
And more power to her, I say. It's weird, okay, but it's also to be applauded. Maybe don't worship Kim Kardashian as your number one idol, though, if you are in school. Although there are worse people, she's an excellent businesswoman.
Maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about, then you would know what it takes to run a business, but you don't. So don't even act like you know what I'm talking about.
The next thing they teach you in school is that you are a winner. You get a trophy and you can do anything you want in life. Okay, so the idea of participation trophies definitely stems from American culture. People say, kids nowadays get trophies for everything, just for taking part. When I used to do children's birthday parties, we'd bring along a gift to ensure that every child got something at the end of the party, but we also used to do games whereby kids could win prizes. And here's the thing, we had to stop doing that because parents were complaining that one kid would get a prize over another, which frankly, I think is silly.
Silly.
A big part of learning is learning that you're not good at everything. The debate over whether every kid should get a prize tends to be a debate of proxy for larger political debates. Countless studies have shown that we're actually more committed to an activity that we do out of a desire for passion rather than one that we do in need of getting a reward. So much as your parents might have said it to you, the reward is actually taking part. And it's just as important to do things that you don't like doing and you're not good at as things that you are good at and you enjoy doing. But you should not necessarily get a trophy for doing so. The next thing we're taught in school is sharing is caring. Frankly, I don't like sharing. If I've got something, that's mine.
Joey doesn't share food!
Joey doesn't share food! So group focus tasks begin in school, and when we're doing them, we're told that this is what helps us to learn to work as a team. But in actuality, what it does is help separate those who work well in a team from those who work better as individuals. When I was in school, I learned a valuable lesson by doing a group task with Sean O'Toole. Now, Sean O'Toole let me do all the work while he took all the credit. And Sean O'Toole is a greedy little snake, but we learned a valuable lesson that day, which was not to allow people to take all the credit. And then when Katie Finn tried to do it to me in university, I said, no, Katie Finn, go yourself. Because I learned a lesson doing a group project. Sharing is not caring. The point is, we are not all team players. A study from Stanford University says that resilience, creativity, ethical values, and an ability to work effectively with others are also vital outcomes of a rounded education. And just as important is learning that you don't play well with others. The last one we're going to look at today is the idea that school is the best years of your life. Oh dear God, I hope not. No, this is definitely not true. Have you ever heard the term peaking in high school?
You peaked in high school, mother.
Scientifically speaking, this is actually a real thing. Studies have found that when a young person excels at an early age, there is an inclination to stunt their developmental growth at that life stage. For example, Justin Bieber. Just kidding. Well, actually, no, that's a really good example. I'm so smart. Self-love is the best love of all, and you know it must be true because it says it on Instaquotes. See, kids who are really good at doing something in school don't feel challenged or motivated to get better at it because they're already the best, miles ahead of everybody else. But say you took somebody who's a really, really great tuba player. They're the best tuba player at the age of 14 in the whole country. They're the best in the whole universe. Is there a best tuba player in the universe? We don't know what Marsans do. Marsans. Sit around and play the tuba, apparently. But if at 24 they're still only playing like the best 14-year-old in the universe, they're not necessarily as good as even their equivalent 24-year-old. Okay, I'm gonna say the tuba may not have been as good of an example as Justin Bieber, and I think there were too many examples in that one, but I think my point got across. There's actually loads more examples, so let me know below in comments what things you learned in school that turned out to be total lies. Do me a favour and subscribe if you haven't already and give me a big thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you guys later in the week. Bye! Group focus! Chewie went to puppy school, didn't you? What did you learn in puppy school? Yeah? Yeah? Partially. Why do I keep partiallying? It's not partial. It's not an exhale of it. Don't say partially. I can't say it normal now.
Yeah, so this video is coming up a little short. I figured we could be amused by the shite stock videos together. This is a man arm wrestling his son. Well, we assume it's his son. We don't actually know for certain. But he basically got his bum handed to him. This is some parents' proudest achievement, a trained child that can jump up and down on command. I wonder if he got to keep the medal and trophy afterwards, or if they were ripped off him, showing him what the world is truly about. Here is a group of actors just trying to make some money. Yeah! This girl is actually extremely sassy. And I figure she may have caused problems from her parents when she reached pubescence. This lad, I would imagine, goes around telling his dates he is a real life model and kind of leaves out the stock video footage part. I can't imagine the directions this child was given. Just blow bubbles, just stand very still and blow bubbles. He seems to be laughing a little bit during it, but you know, he blew bubbles well. And then this moron is just holding up a wall. I understand she went to 3 years of mime to learn how to do this successfully. So yeah, she is the biggest imbecile of all. That's it.